Okay, so setup-wise, I like in your swing, also pretty solid positioning. Your club is squared up behind the center of the ball. Shaft angle is kind of positioned opposite kind of your belt. Club and ball pretty centered. Feet are at a good shoulder width distancing apart. Ball position centered. And feet, hips, and now shoulders are starting to become more squared up alongside the club face, because we worked on taking your right hand that was weak and turned over where I could see a couple knuckles to being more underneath and wrapped around the golf club, so that your forearm is actually opened up and the arm can tuck in now instead of rolling it in because of the hand position. So that does square things up. One thing maybe is just a little more tilt from your hips. Okay, we want to make sure we don't sit down. Okay. We actually tilt back, right? You can see how I tilt from my hips forward, so you get even more in the balls of your feet, that athletic position. And when you do that, David, you might have to just move back a little bit to adjust for the new positionings, right? So it's minimal, but that'll give you more solid stability in a base, right? So it's just a little posturing from the spine angle, from the hips. Step back to give yourself space so your arms can hang down naturally. And just the bottom hand to keep it there and work on those couple things, right? Those are things you want to apply to any golf club, because you want to have the same position to your structure and let the golf club determine where you are distance-wise from it, or ball positioning, but you don't want to change how you stand. And they say it should be one golf swing and then transfer it onto all different golf clubs without moving things around. That's really what should happen. That's what these guys in the golf tour do so well, and they're amazing at it. And when we watch you go back, we can't see it in regular speed, obviously it's slow-mo, but you want to work on patiently flowing the club back with your shoulders, so there's patience and tempo. It's not yanked back abruptly. That's what you got to practice. And we'll look at the slow-mo version of that takeaway now. So you can see how the club, okay, it's actually going back a little more direct. The club head's not popping up or rolling open as early. It's good. Okay, as you go back part way, the club is still angled almost with your spine. The toe isn't fanned open, so that's keeping it more square. Now as the club rises up on a pretty good plane, there's the top of your swing there. Okay, pretty solid swing. And look at that form and that wrist. It's closer. First few swings I saw, much more bowed, right? So just check that in the mirror and work on that through the takeaway and the turn, and not being forced to move the club away from the ball. Coming back down, the club's going to drop down in a pretty good transitional motion downwardly. You square it up and you get off your right side into a finished position. So with some practice and that work, setting your positions more comfortably in future, this will be easier to do. All right? No problem.
Great, Dave.